Joining me now, House Oversight Committee member Tim Walberg. Senator, welcome to the show. You know, there was a lot of questions about intent and the parsing of malicious and grossly and all of those kind of words. And it was interesting to me that the overall theme of FBI Director Comey's testimony was that it was up to him to interpret a 100-year-old statute, its constitutionality, and therefore that's how he came up with his decision.
And that was our concern. You know, I'm not going to debate with Director Comey. He's a noted prosecutor and attorney. But the bottom line is common people look at the law, and it's very clear. There is not the word intent in the law. It talks of gross negligence. In his definition of careless, extreme carelessness, it fits the definition of gross negligence. And on the basis of that, her taking without authorization and establishing a email setup, including a server, at an unauthorized place, violates the law. And any common sense individual reading that would say, Mr. Comey, why in the world did that not carry the day in convicting her of wrongdoing? And that's the question we'll always have. But now we go on, and the American public will have to decide if this person who pushed beyond the law, did not live within the letter of the law at the very least, and did sloppy things, as the director said, and very careless, extremely careless. Is she capable of going further and establishing someone we can trust with the highest office of the land?
And to your point, certainly Director Comey had damning words for Hillary Clinton, and it goes beyond the carelessness factor to competence. He even talked about her lack of sophistication and a job that requires a great sense of sophistication. And of course, his days after President Obama claims that she's the most qualified person who's ever run for the White House.
Well, yeah, I think that's a damning statement if this is the case. Indeed, a person who was not only a Secretary of State, but was also a former U.S. Senator. She received the same briefings on classified information, top secret information, and the care of that information as I have. She was also a resident of the White House, certainly receiving clear indications and directions on what she should do. And so here she is now, doing extremely careless things. For what purposes, we will never probably know, but I think she certainly disqualifies herself from having the trust of the American people. And when you go beyond that, as we pressed Director Comey as well, he said there was no real precedent for using this because there was no intent. Yet a precedent has been set now that says to all future Secretaries of State, hey, this is the way you can handle it if you choose to do it. That's not satisfactory for the American public to gain trust in their high offices and elected officials.
Having said all of that, it does feel like this hearing was successful in a sense that maybe there is a smoking gun, if you will. Representative Chaffetz picked up on it early. It was a theme that was echoed throughout the rest of the hearings with Hillary Clinton's Benghazi hearing and her testimony there. Maybe three separate examples of her lying with respect to her attorneys not turning over all the emails, her attorneys not having read all of the emails, and certainly saying that nothing was marked classified. There's a certain clear contradiction between what Director Comey told us on Tuesday and echoed again today and what she said before under oath.
Absolutely. Under oath, and has told the American public even more so that she didn't do what she ended up doing. She has lied to the American public, and I think that's the highest form of negative activity that really ought to disqualify in the minds of many people them offering her an even higher and more responsible position. Again, we're looking at a key concern that the American people don't trust us. They don't trust politicians. They're concerned, they're confused, they're frustrated, they're angry. And when they see this happen, they see a double standard that if you are a certain person, you can get off. Others couldn't get off for the same thing. They don't have to parse the law like we do. They just simply want to know that their government is working for them and living under the statutes and laws that are in place. And I think today it came out very clearly that Hillary Clinton didn't, regardless of the excuses that she's given. And I think the American public will have to decide how much further they will go with her.
Well, quickly, sir, Representative Chaffetz hinted or indicated that some sort of referral would be made to the FBI to look further into perhaps these contradictions or out-and-out lies that may have been committed by Hillary Clinton. Do you know if that's still going to happen?
Well, I guess we'll wait and see. I'm not the chairman, and I'm certain that Chairman Chaffetz will try to make this as much of a productive hearing as possible because, as I reminded my colleagues today, we are the Oversight and Government Reform Committee, and it is our responsibility to take something that was negative, see if indeed the law has to be fixed up a bit so that we give the FBI and other agents the ability to do what's necessary to protect our citizens and protect the information we have. And so this oversight should lead to government reform, and it may not affect Hillary Clinton, but hopefully it'll affect the future leaders of our country.
Well, thank you very much. It was riveting. It was important, and we really are glad that you were able to spend time with us, Congressman Walberg.